May all groups of beings in all realms of existence humbly offer the Mahasankathan altogether. May we all, together with all beings in all realms of existence, humbly invite the Maha-Buddhas, the Buddhas, the Maha-Bodhisattvas, the Mahabarami. In all of them, please preside over to receive the Mahasankathan from all of us, from both non-humans and humans, any merit which has arisen from giving at every time. May all beings in all realms of existence, in all groups, from all lands, all the karmic debtors, and the karmic debtors of the karmic debtors, may they be part of this giving by Nibbana as it is, and be part of the blessing beings together with the Mahabarami forever and ever. May all lands, all nations be part of these sacrifices and giving since the past, across lifetimes, across Buddha eras. No matter which Buddha eras that has been started from, which has arisen from with great blessed fortunes, all the related beings, whether in a good way or bad way, and from all the lands that we have been born, let there be part of in everything with these great blessed fortunes. Merits and perfections is not to be done to take. It is for giving, so that liberation will happen accordingly, simultaneously. Just dana and merits can be liberated on its own, when it's not, because it's been taken in for oneself. So let's change it. From now on, just give. Whatever that is offered must be as giving. And also for the physical world and samsara as well. Whatever you do is as giving, not in the way of taking. The result of merits and perfections is also to be shared, to be given. There is no need to go for Nibbana anywhere else. All that fabrication of mindfulness, concentration, contemplation, and all that Dharma attainments and meditation through Vipassana and Kammasthana, this is not liberated because of taking in for oneself, for the sake of oneself. That's why it's not liberated since the start. There's always just beginning onwards. This is wrong belief values. Everything is anatta, is meaningless. Merits cannot be fixated upon it. Even perfections are not to be able to fixate it upon, no matter which types of perfection. With everything is not about grasping. Because of grasping, it creates circling back and forth onwards. One can feel that it's impossible to end because once it starts, it's already endless. For everything is not about doing it for taking, for grasping, even practicing, as well as giving dana or sila, samadhi, and wisdom. It has not to be done in whatever ways. It's too complicated in such a way, and also creating preoccupation totally. Whatever that is given, whatever that one dedicated for, it has to be bygone on its own. There is no need to expect anything in return. This type of giving is the liberation in itself. It's not about giving donation or giving anything and wishing for Nibbana. This is not enlightened since before starting to this truth, because there is no cutting the beginning. Giving with expectations, therefore there is no cutting from the giving itself. It's impossible to be enlightened to this truth. Let's change. Let's not go around. Let's end within no time. Ending within the ending itself. Whatever that is given since the past to the present, there is something that is hidden. There is riches that is hidden in giving. That's why it's impossible to end. It's not pure, child. That is not ending the mind and the heart. Therefore, giving, and that's it. Don't let there be any wishes that overlaying on top of giving. Even giving something towards animals, don't wish for anything, let it be bygone on its own. Then the giving, such a giving is pure. There is liberation in such a giving. Giving towards humans, towards all beings, or anyone, any realms is the same. Giving and let it be bygone. Just like when you do consecration on the road. Giving something for them to consume, and that's it, is bygone. There is no need to hide the wishes behind the giving, so that it can end since the giving starts. As for letting go, let go of the letting go itself instead. Cutting within itself is not about cutting anything. Turn around and let go. Let go of the letting go itself. Let go of the beginning to let go itself. In this way, it will end the ending itself. End within no time. If you use the wishes, the projection towards mindfulness, concentration, contemplation, this kind of projections leading towards circling with delusion, not just within this lifetime. We have practiced for many lifetimes already. This projection for attainment is not ending in itself. Step back, disengage from the disengagement itself. Otherwise, there is no liberation. There is impossible to project for the path to the enlightenment. Step back, disengage from the disengagement itself. This is not to project forward. This is the present that doesn't take in the present. No grasping even for the non-grasping itself. Be thorough. If we follow the belief values or the wishes that is given value to, it's impossible to end. Definitely. Without ending all the wishes itself is not going to end. Mindfulness is not nibbana. Concentration is not nibbana. Concentration, meditative power and insight is not nibbana. It's just fabrication of Dhamma. Assume up to dwell in and to be fixated upon. It's assumed up to be deluded to. It turns into samsara itself within that kind of Dhamma. Mindfulness, concentration, contemplation, special insight is not about anything since before starting. It's been given the enlightenment for, but you just projecting for the practice, for attainment. Therefore, there is no cutting. Just like you are going further than the Buddhas, further than Nibbana. For Nibbana, no grasping, doesn't grasp for itself, not attached even for the non-attachment itself. Disengage even from disengagement itself. Then it's possible to end, it's possible to cease. This has nothing to do with the gauge of perceptions and the objects of perceptions. It has nothing to do with the internal or the external. It has nothing to do with the body and the mind in whatever ways. Cutting is within itself. Ceasing is within itself. Disengage even from disengagement itself. The presence doesn't grasp for itself. You know that all the Buddhas, Maha Bodhisattvas, all the graces are derived from what? They are derived from non-attached, even to the non-attachment itself. They are from no grasping, even for the non-grasping itself. So, what have you been doing, Deludedly practicing what? Deludedly practicing what? It's gone too far already. It turns into the samudaya within the practice totally. That's why there is just belief values. in practicing mindfulness concentration, contemplation, vipassana, kamasthana, this is from the belief values. Everyone has only the desire that is aiming forward. It's gone too far already. You have to return, disengage from disengagement itself. Freeze within itself, letting go on its own. This is not about letting go of anything. Trying to let go of anything is gone too far. Whatever that is let go of is gone too far. It turns into samsara in the attempt to let go already. We have to return to let go of the letting go itself instead. Step back to let go of the letting go itself instead. Then it will be aligned with the presence of vimutti, nirodha, and nibbana. It is not in the front or in the future. Don't let the desire deceive oneself. Step back, child. It is not at the mind or the heart. Step back, disengage from disengagement itself. No matter how the mind and the heart is, don't take it into account. Buddhas is not in the heart as one's thought. The heart and the mind are having only karma and karmic difficulties in it. The Buddhas truly doesn't exist in anything. To be aligned with Buddhahood, it has to be not attached to the non-attachment itself, putting down the putting down itself, give up the giving up itself, let go of the letting go itself. It's not at the heart. It's not at anything whatsoever, child. This is called emptiness doesn't take in itself. The emptiness is not even the emptiness itself. This is the conclusion of the non-attachment that is concluded for you. In every Buddha era, in every period of time, belief values of delusion, values of delusive attachment is dangerous. It's just gone too far, further and further than the presence, further and further, on and on. Step back to not grasp even for the presence itself. The presence doesn't grasp for itself. How is it so? No grasping even for the non-grasping itself. That is the presence that doesn't grasp for itself. Then it will be aligned with Buddha's essence and Nibbana. They don't have the meanings as you guys thought. It's not by ways of interpretations and understanding in this way or that way. Not attached even to the non-attachment itself doesn't have any meanings as anything at all. The same as disengage from disengagement itself doesn't have meanings as anything at all. No meaning even for Nirodha or not Nirodha, Nibbana or not Nibbana. no meaning is even for attachment or non-attachment. Not even having meanings even about the personhood who is enlightened or not. That is derived from not attached even to the non-attachment itself. Disengage even from disengagement itself. It is not about aiming forward into the future. The presence purifies the presence. It doesn't grasp for itself. Not attached to the non-attachment itself. This is called the presence doesn't grasp for the presence itself. Let go of the letting go itself. Is called the presence doesn't grasp for itself. Moment of the mind doesn't grasp for itself. The states of mind doesn't grasp for themselves. Letting go of the letting go itself. Any types of mind don't grasp themselves. Be thorough. Not even about aiming forward, let alone sustaining at the present is not the way at all. Deludedly maintaining mindfulness, concentration, contemplation, special insights, they are just grasping minds. They are just an identity overlaying Dhamma. The entity has mindfulness. Mindfulness has identity. Therefore, it's impossible to be liberated. This is because of the belief values within the wishes and the projection for attainment since the beginning. The projection for attainment is leading oneself forward on and on since the past. Without ceasing this kind of projection for attainment, for practicing for attainment, it will just go on forward endlessly. Even stillness is not the way. What is there within the stillness? Who is it that is in stillness? The anicca doesn't have stillness in it. The anatta either has no true stillness in it. This is all about the delusive attachment that is controlling it. It's not about anything since before starting, child. Once you start, it becomes samsara immediately. Therefore, you need to make a conclusion thoroughly. With everything, no grasping even for the non-grasping itself. With everything, not attached even to the non-attachment itself. It's not about someone who is attached or not attached. The non-attachment purifies itself. Everything is non-attachment on its own. Let's purify personhood within attachment or non-attachment. In this way, ending is possible. Ending and helping through ending altogether, this is the great compassion for samsara. Whatever that is practiced, it becomes samsara within itself totally. Even just simple way of giving, it becomes already lifetimes after lifetimes until now. Giving that has wishes overlaying in itself across Buddha eras. let alone other types of Dharma. Dharma is just an assumed up. To be fixated, to practice upon, it becomes a lifetime. It creates cycle of lifetime. There is no identity within Dharma. What exists in there is the delusive attachment, the upathan. There is just a delusion within Dhamma. There is no real self within Dhamma. There is just an occasional existence within Dhamma by delusion and delusive attachment. Assume up Dhamma to dwell in and to be fixated upon. What is it that is doing it? It is the delusive attachment that is dwelling in Dhamma and fixated towards Dhamma. Let's end it immediately. With everything disengaged from disengagement itself. With everything. These things, the personhood who is attached or detached totally. Disengaged from disengagement itself. The non-attachment purifies itself. It dissolves itself. It doesn't grasp for itself. The non-attachment ceases itself. Be thorough. The presence has nothing within it. It is not about the presence. The presence is not the presence. Don't let the desire deceive oneself on and on. Step back towards the non-grasping on its own. The desiring is off-sided, aiming forward by gazing, by looking, seeing. Step back towards non-grasping on its own, disengage from disengagement on its own. Constantly, this will be cutting within itself. Non-attachment on its own. This flower blossom out and discard itself. No, not any flowers that take in the blossoming state. It discards the blossoming state. All flowers are like that. This lotus flower discards its blossoming state. It doesn't grasp the blossoming state. To maintain and sink in mindfulness, concentration, contemplation, meditative power, spiritual insight and wisdom, that is not blossoming. It's not blossoming because it's maintaining itself. How can it be blossom out? Go ahead towards everything, with everything not attached to the non-attachment itself. Disengage on its own. That is unwinding, discarding itself. These kind of belief values about blossoming and budding. This is illusion, illusional karma. Let there be no more blossoming or budding. You see just the appearance. but you are not enlightened to its ultimate, the end point. You are just stuck with the blossoming lotus or the budding lotus. Therefore, you are not enlightened to the truth that the blossoming state discards itself. It doesn't grasp for itself. Therefore, it's impossible with everything to practice for attainment. Practicing for attainment in such a way is not even a blossoming lotus, let alone just a budding lotus. It's not really near to the Buddha's essence. Delusively practicing is just each one on one's own realms, on one's own way, on one's own path. From the lowest hell realms to the Brahma realms, they're just paying back their karmic difficulties. It's derived from practicing for attainment, doing something for obtaining. That's why it's destined as samsara, as realms of existence. The result from practicing for attainment or doing something to obtain, the result is realms from Brahma realm to the hell realms. It's by one's own doing. Practicing mindfulness, practicing contemplation and concentration, which realm will be destined for such a practice. Samsara of realm of existence is going to take on this result. Nibbana is not classified as realms of existence. It's coming from putting down itself, disengage on its own, non-attachment on its own. It's from no grasping for the non-grasping itself. It's from giving up the giving up itself. It's from letting go on its own. Then it will not become realm of existence. It purifies personhood within attachment and detachment. Conclude shortly, with everything, let go of the letting go itself. The letting go is on its own. With everything, disengage is on its own. Conclude shortly, end within no time. With everything, non-attachment is on its own. Then realm of existence will not be continued. All the fixation with practicing mindfulness, concentration, stillness, indifference, equanimity. This has been done for many lifetimes already. Therefore, declare renunciation and revocation from all the projection, desire, and expectations for such attainment. Because this desire and expectation we block oneself, it's impossible to put down. Declare removal and renouncing. Give up the giving up itself. Give up the giving up itself. Then there's ending the practice for attainment. naturally there will be no identifying with anything. It will turn into purifying through the emptiness for samsara accordingly.